Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. And I am glad to be back in the studio, finally. Man, sometimes it's a struggle being on the road, man, and trying to do the podcast from the road. You know, you don't get good internet, you don't get good service, and I got to set up all this equipment in my hotel room. But hey, it's all good, man. Salute to everybody that's here in the chat. I appreciate you guys as the Knicks pulled off a win tonight versus the Chicago Bulls. What can we say, ladies and gentlemen? A depleted Bulls team, but nonetheless, they pulled off a victory. So congratulations to the Knicks, and you're seeing them happy tonight, celebrating in jubilation as they pulled off a win versus the Chicago Bulls. It was a good game all around for the Knicks, man, tonight. And the Knicks needed this win. Let's be real about it. The Knicks needed to get a win tonight. You know, they needed to get a win. A 6-game losing streak. The Knicks are now 18-42 on the season. They have actually surpassed their win total from last season. They're at 18 wins. My man Evergreen said he'd be delighted if the Knicks just got one more win this season. Well, be delighted, Evergreen, because they got the win tonight versus Chicago Bulls. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, they're cracking down on all this highlight stuff. So if I can't get to a lot of highlights and things like that, please understand. I know you understand. I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know. But let's talk about just take a look at some of the numbers from the matchup from tonight's game. Right, the Knicks had their biggest lead at 17. Now they allowed the Chicago Bulls to pull close, and then they would pull away, and then they'd pull close again, then they'd pull away. The biggest lead by the Chicago Bulls was 3. The Knicks dominated on the glass with 56 rebounds tonight. They played team basketball. They shared the ball, 29 assists, 5 steals for the Knicks, 4 blocks. They kept the turnovers to 16. That's still a little bit high. Excuse me for my voice breaking up. Still a little bit high. But only 16 turnovers. So, well, I don't want to say only 16 turnovers, but they won the game. If you're sharing the ball a lot, passing the ball a lot, you might turn the ball over some. The Chicago Bulls only had 8 turnovers. They had 3 blocks, 12 steals, and they had 26 assists on their own. All right, field goal percentage. Chicago Bulls shot 46.1% from the field. They shot 48.6% from 3. Now, this was a game where a lot of defense wasn't really being played, okay? So, you know, the Knicks scored 125 points. The Chicago Bulls scored 115 points. It was one of those nights. It was one of those games. Entertaining nonetheless. Chicago Bulls were 69.6% from the free throw line. The New York Knicks, they shot 55.3% from the field, 40% from 3. And even though they shot 40% from 3, ladies and gentlemen, they still only took 20. They made 8, but they only took 20. The Chicago Bulls made 17. They took 35 three-point attempts. They made 17 of them. The Knicks played to their strength. They played inside, and it worked out for them tonight. They shot 69.7% from the stripe, ladies and gentlemen. Chicago Bulls, the New York Knicks. The Knicks walk away with a victory over the Chicago Bulls. Let's take a look at the box scores on the night. Start off with the Chicago Bulls, then we'll get to the hometown Knicks. We'll get to them soon enough. Thomas Satoransky, he had 6 points, 7 assists, 4 rebounds on the night. Thaddeus Young, he had 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Wendell Carter Jr., he only had 6 points. Mitchell Robinson, he cooked tonight. But we'll get to Mitch. Wendell Carter Jr. only had 6 points. He had 9 rebounds, 2 assists. Shaquille Harrison, he had 5 points. Zach LaVine, he had 26 points. Of course, he led the Chicago Bulls tonight with 26 points and 7 assists. Daniel Gafford had 12 points. Kobe White, he had 22 points tonight. Then you got a bunch of guys that maybe you never even heard of. Ryan Arcidiacono, whatever, he had 5 points. Denzel Valentine had 8 points. Adam Makoko, Makoka had 8 points. Cristiano Felicio had 2 points. For the hometown New York Knicks, they had a pretty even scoring night tonight, ladies and gentlemen, which is what you like to see from the New York Knicks, right? They were pretty even in their scoring balance. They were led by Mitchell Robinson with a career high, or tied his career high, whatever it is, 23 points. He also had 10 rebounds. No block shots tonight, but that's okay. Mitchell Robinson had 23 points and 10 rebounds. He actually he took the most shots tonight. He was 11 for 16 from the field. He did that coming off the bench. Taj Gibson was back tonight. For the starters, Mo Harkless, he had 9 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Julius Randle had 22 points and 10 rebounds. He also had 3 assists. He was 7 for 15 from the field. He had 4 turnovers. R.J. Barrett gave him one. Not gave him one, but forced him to get one. If you've seen him play that little cat and mouse game at the end of the game. Taj Gibson, he had 17 points and 8 rebounds. R.J. Barrett, 19 points tonight. It was 8 for 10 from the field, 3 for 4 from the three-point line. He had 4 rebounds and 3 assists to go along with it. Elfrid Payton had 3 points, but he had 10 assists. Kevin Knox, he had a decent outing tonight. Let's give it to him. Kevin Knox had a decent outing. It was 4 for 9 from the field. He was 2 for 3 from the three-point line. He was 2 for 2 from the free throw line. He played 21 minutes. He also had 6 rebounds. He had 12 points. Big shout out to Kevin Knox for responding at least a little bit and see if he can continue. Frank Ntilikina, he had 4 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Wayne Ellington played a couple of minutes. He had 6 points. Bobby Portis, he had 10 points. Damian Dotson and Alonzo Trier, they did not play tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That's a decent game from the New York Knicks. So, you know, I'm glad about tonight's game. I feel good about tonight's game. So let's see who we got here in the video chat. And, of course, I'm going to give you guys a chance to call in. And, you know, let me know how you feel about tonight's game and other things that's going on in the world of the New York Knicks. And we're going to get this thing popping. It looks like I got my man Isaiah forever driving in the car. He's either driving in the car or his parents kick him out the house because he talks too loud. I don't know which one it is. Isaiah, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Sim? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but your video froze a little bit. But go ahead.
Oh, Sim.
You breaking up, bro. You breaking up?
You know what, Sim? I hate to be that guy. You can hear me, Sim?
I can hear you, but you're breaking up bad. So you're gonna have to get in a better spot or something.
Oh yeah, I'm in a bad area. The area over here.
Yeah, you can't call.
You come back to me.
Yeah, man, you can't call me from a bad area, man. You got to call me from a good area so we can hear what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Let me get to a phone call.
Yeah.
Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Yo, what up, Tim? How you doing, my man?
I'm good, brother. I'm chilling. How you feeling?
Good, man. It was a good win. You know, at this point, we just want to win with the youth. So, you know, Mitch, obviously, career game. You know, RJ. The only thing that disappointed me was the second half. Of course, they go ISO Randall. You know, Randall dribbling and Payne dribbling the ball out of the shot clock. I just would have wished Barrett got all the touches like he got in the first half. You know, the second half, I think he took like one shot. You know, that disappointed me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But Mitch, Knox, even finally showed up and played hard out there. So you can win games because of those 3 kids, Mitch, Knox, and Barrett. I think that's, a great thing. Even though it was against the Bulls, we'll take it,
Yeah, and listen, the one thing I say is this, when you're talking about the way a basketball game goes, basketball games flow. They just flow. And they flow, right? And sometimes you're going to get more shot attempts in one half and less shot attempts in another half, more shot attempts in one quarter, less shot attempts in another quarter. It's going to happen that way.
Right.
Regardless of who you are. Well, I'm not going to say regardless of who you are. With some people, the balls, you're going to touch the ball every time down the floor, but
right.
we don't have a guy on our team that deserves that type of respect. But anyway, go ahead.
Right. Yeah. Just at this point, we just want to win with the young kids. I mean, anytime you can win because of those three, that's your future. Mitch, Barrett, Knox. I mean, I'm still a little iffy on Knox, but hey, we'll take what he did today. We'll take that from him. He actually played well on defense too. So that was probably one of the best games of the year from Knox on both ends.
Uh-huh.
So, if he could just continue to just, live up to what we thought he could be. You got potentially, I think Barrett's best position is the 3. And then maybe Knox, plays the 4, which I think he would probably be best at in the future. You could possibly have your 3, 4, and your 5, Hopefully you'll get a point guard in this draft, most likely. You got the Clippers pick. Maybe you could get a decent shooter there. So, just keep building with the young kids and just, at this point, just give them all the minutes, man. You have nothing to lose at this point, right?
Well, you talk about, when you look at tonight, the minutes breakdown tonight. Let me get to the full game here, and I can give you a good minutes breakdown. Looking tonight, Mo Harkless played 26 minutes, Julius Randle 31 minutes, Taj Gibson 19, R.J. Barrett 31, Elfrid Payton 33, Kevin Knox played 21, Mitchell Robinson played 28, Frank Ntilikina 16. The rest of the guys are considered, older guys. Bobby Portis, Wayne Ellington played 16 and 14 respectively. Dennis Smith Jr. obviously was out. Alonzo Trier did not play tonight.
Yeah, that was disappointing, man. Trier should be getting, especially when DSJ is out. He should be getting some minutes, man. That was disappointing to me.
Yeah,
too,
he
man.
should. He should. He should be playing
over Wayne Ellington. No offense to Wayne Ellington, but Knicks fans don't want to see Wayne Ellington play minutes over Alonzo Trier.
He should be playing. I definitely give you that. And listen, we know Wayne Ellington's not going to be bought out. If he's going to be bought out, it needs to happen tonight, right? If he's going to be bought out to play to be on a playoff team, and that's not going to happen.
Oh, right, to get on the playoff roster, right?
Exactly. If someone's going to be bought out to get on the playoff roster, it would need to happen tonight, and so it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Now they could still buy him out, but they wouldn't be able to be on a playoff roster.
Right.
So
yeah,
doesn't look like that's going to happen.
I said that one move, the RJ did the step back, like the Harden-esque move. That was
I seen it.
We got the crowd going a little crazy on that one.
I seen it.
Sweet. That step back
looked pretty good. Looked pretty good.
That was good, man. And he wet that 3. That was really nice, man.
Yeah.
If he could just keep working, we know he's got that work ethic. Just keep working on that jump shot, man, and just
no doubt about it, man.
Just got to keep working at that thing.
No doubt. Appreciate your call, bro.
One last question.
Okay, go ahead. One last.
Which young kids are you confident in that'll be, here when things hopefully turn around? That could be like you were saying, foundation pieces.
Say that again. I didn't get the question.
Like our young kids. Which ones are you confident in that they'll be big pieces when we hopefully turn the corner? Like you were saying, like foundation type pieces.
So I mean, to me, RJ and Mitch right now are
right.
I think foundation type pieces. Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina, I think, could be exterior pieces. Right? I don't consider them.
I think at this point, right?
Yeah, I don't consider them foundational pieces, but I do consider them exterior pieces that you still might keep around. But if you're looking to say, how am I going to build this team? Right? You would look and you say, okay, RJ and Mitch, how do I build a team around them?
Right.
Are Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina pieces that can fit around them? So you base stuff, to me, you can base things off of those two guys.
Right.
I don't know about Kevin Knox and Frank, but
those two, that perspective of those two, like get shooters around them is what we need desperately, right? Well,
of course, yes, definitely. But still, those two guys though, the other two guys, Frank and Mitch. I mean, Frank and Kevin.
Frank and Knox, right?
You'll see. We'll see if they can grow to be. If they can still grow to be guys that you consider.
Yeah, we still.
Like foundational pieces. So we'll see.
I mean, at this point, it's very iffy. I'd say the Mitch and RJ definitely. I think, but like I was just saying, we just need. If we're starting Mitch and RJ next year, which you would think is definitely likely, but I just think we need a couple of knockdown shooters next to them. We need a stretch 4. And then we need a shooter at the 2 spot and move RJ to the 3. So we got to see what we can do in, I guess, free agency and the draft.
And then we'll see in the draft, and hopefully the draft we pick up a foundational piece. Now, I'm still not sure. I'm not putting it 100% in the books that Mitch is going to start next season. Let's see how his development continues. Hey, we got to see what he does over the summer first. Let's see what he does over the summer. If you read an article about Kevin Knox, right? He had some, I guess the doctor said it was growing pains in his knees. So he had to sit it out for a little bit of the summer, right? Because he's going to grow another inch. Who knows? Something like that could happen with Mitch. I don't know if he's going to grow anymore, but something like that could happen. So you just have to, let's see what he looks like when he comes back. I'm not just going to slot him in and say, yeah, he's definitely going to be the starting center next year. Let's see what happens with development and all of that stuff. When he comes back from the off season, got a new president coming in.
Would you say it's got to be a point guard? Would you still go even maybe a center or would you say just best player available? I know everyone wants a point guard, obviously.
It's all going to depend where we are. It's going to depend where we are in the draft. So, I mean, a point guard, we definitely need a point guard that you're going to look at and say, this is our guy from the future, right? This is our guy for the future. But then still, it's going to depend on where you draft. If we're at the 9th pick or something like that,
which could be right. What do we have?
Then,
the 4th worst record.
Then what do you do? You got to figure out what you do. Now we do have the Clippers pick that maybe you can package and trade. So
exactly,
I don't know.
Right.
But hey,
trade up. So that's good too. If we fall to 7 or 8, we could just probably trade up a few spots, right?
So but hey, my man, I appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna let you rock.
I appreciate it, man. Have a good night. All right.
No doubt. Have a good one, bro.
All right, man.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see how that goes as far as what we need in the offseason, what we do in the draft. But hopefully we do get another foundational piece. And the amazing moment of the game, ladies and gentlemen, play the game, is that R.J. Barrett, you see R.J. Barrett led it up to Mitchell Robinson for the dunk right there. Ball hit the rim just a little bit, but man, that was a big, exciting play from R.J. Barrett and Mitchell Robinson. Right, again, one more time, the amazing moment of the game. R.J. Barrett to Mitchell Robinson on the alley-oop. Nice play right there by the two young foundational pieces. That's what we say, right? The two young foundational pieces. Big shout out to those guys. The Knicks it was a joyous game that the Knicks needed. You seen them at the end of the game. They came together. Julius Randle's son came out there and they gave him some low fives and all that kind of stuff. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. So big shout out to the New York Knicks tonight for getting this win. Let's see who else is in the video chat. Talk to these guys a little bit. Get some of these guys. I got my man Kevin here in the chat. You know what I'm saying? See what Kevin's talking about. Kev, what's going on, man?
What it is. How you feeling, Sam?
I'm chilling, man. I'm good.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
always feels good when the Knicks get a win, right?
Yeah. They looked really good tonight. Yeah, they had some moments and everything, but what you were talking about with the foundation, I totally agree with you with Mitchell and RJ. And I think if we get into the top, I'm going to say, all right, if we get into the top 10 of the draft, we need that point guard. I think that point guard is going to be part of the foundation, as you say. I believe we're going into this year. I thought Kevin Knox will be part of that foundation, and I still think he can. You saw some glimpses of it tonight. But I think he could still be part of that foundation. And I'm convinced that there's something about Frank that really stabilizes that second unit when they come out. I mean, you saw when he's out, our second unit kind of flutters a little bit. But when he plays, it's real stable at that that point guard position, because he's a beast on defense, and he just runs the team very well with that second unit. So, um, so yeah, he's a I forget the word that you use, that he's not the foundation, but he's part of the, part of the mold, part of the um
He's like an exterior, an
yes,
exterior type of a
exactly,
piece.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
You
that's
know,
pretty much what he is. And also his plus minus whenever he's in, I rarely see him have a minus on the game. Pretty much, he's always a plus. So that's one of the things. Let me ask you about Kevin Knox. I
okay.
see people clown this guy, all bash and trash him all the time, this year. And you and I have pretty much said that he just needs time. He needs maybe some time in the G League, but you can't give up on him. I think us as Knicks fans, I think a lot of Knicks fans really give up on our young, and that's not good because they're part of the young team. You just can't give up on them. And as you as a coach, wouldn't you try and develop some plays for him because you know how well he can score the ball in certain spots? Wouldn't you try and develop some plays for him so that he can get his his confidence, and B, get into some sort of rhythm? Isn't that, as a coach, wouldn't you do that?
I would definitely do that as a coach, without a doubt. I would definitely do it as a coach. You have to. You know what I'm saying? You really do. You have to try to find some ways to get him involved. When a player is struggling, that's what you do, right? A player is struggling, you find a way to get him involved into the offense. You know what I mean?
Right.
If that's where they're struggling, and maybe you run a couple of plays for that person when they get in the game, so they can get a good, they get it, they can touch the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you do. Yeah.
So right. So with that being said, I think it's a little bit of an indictment on the coaching staff because you would think that, okay, so you've scouted this kid out before you drafted him. You would see where he is good on the floor, so you would have some certain plays to be run for him so he can be successful. And I don't think the coaching staff from Fizdale's tenure to Miller's tenure, who I love Miller, but unfortunately I don't know what's going to happen to him. But I don't think they've really done him they've done him a disservice of not getting him some easy shots. And I'm hoping that going forward that they do something for him, whether it's going back to the G League, because also, it could be 50% on the coaching staff, but it's also 50% on the players as well. The players got to show that, he wants to be better and
Of
everything. So
course.
if he has to go to the G League, then, fine. I don't know how long, how much longer the G League has for this year. But, and the other thing is, have third year players gone into the summer league, or is it after 2 years that's pretty much it? They're
Well,
going to go
they
back
can go into the summer league. They can definitely go into the summer league. Now, a lot of times,
Okay.
third-year players don't, but
Right.
there's clearly no problem. There's no law or rule against them going into the summer league. We've seen veterans coming back from injury going to the summer league. So,
Okay. So, all right, then most definitely he needs to go back to the summer league so that he can. I just think the coaching staff needs to put a little bit more emphasis on getting some of these players like him easy shots, and getting him better situations for them to be successful. It's just sad that we bash and trash Knox all the time, and I see it in the chat. I see it on some of the video chats as well, and people forget that he's 19, 20 years old,
20.
only had one. Okay, 20 years old, only had 1 year of college ball, and like you said before, some of them fundamentals he probably didn't get when he was in college, especially just for 1 year. There's certain players that are ready, and there are certain players who are not. he was probably one of those players that was not ready. On the flip side, I think RJ Barrett was definitely ready. All he has to do is just develop the jump shot, and he's going to be good to go.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that works out, with Kevin Knox. I think a lot is going to depend on the coaching staff that's brought in.
Yeah.
Right? There's going to be a new coaching staff. And I think for Leon Rose, who is supposed to take over tomorrow.
From what I heard, I don't mean to cut you off, Sam. I think I heard Jonathan Macri say that he signed his contract today. So
okay.
He's going to be introduced sometime this week. I thought it was going to be tomorrow and everything, but I've never seen a press conference happen on a Sunday. But I think sometime this week they're going to have that press conference.
Right, probably. Probably.
Go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry.
Probably Monday. They'll probably have the press conference on Monday. But, that's going to be, one of his calls of order, right? First he's got to find a GM. Then after he finds a GM, he's got to find himself a coaching staff, right? And a coaching staff that can really put an emphasis on development, right? That's what he's got to do. A coaching staff that can this is my opinion here, right? But I think he needs a coaching staff that can put an emphasis on development, structure.
When you mean structure, talk about structure a little bit, just a little bit. Talk about structure.
Just structure in the form of discipline for the players.
Okay.
These are young guys. Young guys need discipline, right? In order to, they just need discipline. You know what I'm saying? So, structure in the form of discipline. I think you need someone who's, a developmental staff, guys that can really develop the players and know what they're doing is as far as developing the players. Then you need a coach that can implement structure, right? Strict structure. That's just my opinion, but I feel like this is what young guys need. You need some structure. You need some rules, right, on how the team operates. Now, do they have those things? I don't know. If they did, I feel like it probably, with the way Fizz was as a coach, it probably was not being enforced.
I agree with that totally.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like those are the things that Leon Rose needs to look for.
Right, and you see a little bit of it being enforced with Miller just by the wins that he was having, the early success that Miller was having. I totally agree with you. With that, going forward, that's why I think people may be down on Tibbs if it's going to be Thibodeau, but I welcome him because now you have a young team, you have some veterans, and I think he's going to be a real plus for these guys. I think he's going to be no nonsense.
Okay,
that's the way I see it a little bit.
Yeah.
And everybody talking about they're down on Harkless not getting Harkless getting run. I have no problem with it because I know what Harkless is going to bring to the table.
We'll see if he continues. We'll see what happens if he's going to be here next season. It does strike me that Mike Miller already has him in the starting lineup. I'm gonna get to my man Evergreen here. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
But it does, strike me that he's already in the lineup, already in the starting lineup. What was it, 2-3 games, and he's in the starting lineup over Reggie Bullock? Okay. Evergreen, what's going on, man?
I'm happy, baby.
Got that 18th win.
I've got that 18. We already better than last season. We're in the best position available. We better than last season, baby. We are better than last season. I can't complain. AJ, please. He's in the shower. We better than last season. That's what I can't complain about nothing.
Okay.
So with that being said, I want to jump down Kev's throat right quick. He's talking about everybody making fun of Knox, and he's 20 years old. Listen, I'm sorry, bro, but nobody's trying to hear that, man. I love Kevin Knox just as much as everybody else, but Kevin Knox is not ready right now. That's the bottom line. He's just not ready. So a lot of people saying send him to the G League. I'm even against sending him to the G League. Kevin Knox all summer needs to be playing street ball in New York City so he can develop some new moves, because you're not developing no new moves in the G League or the Summer League. The games aren't long enough. You need to be playing ball every day at Rucker, at at Dykeman, somewhere where you can develop some new moves, whether it be in the post or whether it be some dribble drive moves, because that little slashing layup that he's doing, it's not working. So, not that I want to jump down Kev's throat, but the issue is, hold on, AJ. The issue is that Kevin Knox is not playing in his correct position. I said it once again. Kevin Knox is not playing in his correct position. He needs to be playing the 4. So this year, he needs to gain some weight. After he gains some weight, then he needs to be playing in Rucker Park somewhere, or trying to develop some new moves. And then we can start making some roster changes and seeing what Leon Rose is doing. Other than that, I'm extremely excited about. We can lose. For me, I said we can win 7 games yesterday. I think we can win 6 more. But if we don't win another game for the rest of the season, I'm like, yo, we're good, because we're in a position to really start to develop players and got good cap space, good cap relief. And we're under new management, and let's see where this goes. So at this point in time, every single Knicks fan should be extremely optimistic with what's going on in the future. Point blank, period. There should be no Knicks fan that could logically complain about anything for the rest of the season. Period.
I mean, there's not much that we could. I mean, we already know what's happening, what's going on with the season. You know, the team is not good. There's 22 games left. The only thing that I could see Knicks fans would complain about is veterans playing over the young guys. Other than that, I don't know what else you complain about, because you already know where the season is. So
see, but the thing about that is, like, yeah, I would go so far as to say I was a huge guy that was like complaining early in the season, like, why aren't the young guys getting the minutes? Why aren't we developing the young guys? But the season is not when you develop your skills. You don't develop your skills in the mid-season. You develop your skills in the off-season, when you have time to work on very particular things, because you don't have to worry about getting on a plane and flying out to Rancho Cucamonga for the weekend. You know what I mean? And get ready to go play somewhere. In game is not where you develop your skills, because in game is when you're being told by your coach to do something very, very specific, right? He's not looking at, okay, what new skills does this dude have that he didn't have from yesterday. He's looking at what skills does he have right now that I can utilize right now, right?
True.
So everyone has this huge misconception that we're not, you're not playing these guys and because they're not developing, or they're not developing because they're not getting minutes. We're not in that position. No team develops their players mid-season. Like, not to bring up superstars, but Giannis didn't develop during the season. He developed in the off-season. He came back and gained damn near 30 pounds of pure muscle. You know what I mean? He developed all that in the off-season. He developed spin moves and post moves in the off-season. He didn't develop that in game. You know what I mean?
The only thing I would say is, when you're in game, you get some experience, right? And you get some, experience. You come across situations in the game that you're not going to come across in practice, that you're not going to come across when you're, in the gym with your trainer working on certain skills. There's things in the games that's going to happen that help you develop mentally, right? You may not develop your physical skill. You're trying to implement certain things that maybe you've learned throughout the off season. You're trying to implement it in the game. But throughout the season, when you are on the floor, when you got teams strategizing against you, you learn to read defenses. You learn to read, what people want to do on offense. those type of things. So I think in season, you do develop mentally. You know what I'm saying? You develop your basketball IQ mentally, and how to counteract things that another team is doing. So I do think you develop that when you're in season. You know what I mean? And I'm going to get to Isaiah, and then we're going to talk about something else. Go ahead, Isaiah.
What's going on, Sam?
I'm good. Finally in a place. Huh?
I know. Do I have to be that guy today? I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like
be that guy. Go ahead. Today. What guy you going to be?
Sim, I didn't like the game today. I didn't like the second. Let me be more specific. I didn't like the second half of the game. I was very frustrated with the way Peyton and Randall played. I was really mad because of just the simple fact, Sim, that, and I feel like you know I'm about to go with this, that RJ only ended up with 19 points. And they froze him out of the game in the second half. Now I understand you're probably gonna say flow of the game. I don't want to hear that crap with this because that wasn't flow of the game. They were deliberately not giving the ball up.
You know what? I mean, but see, this is the thing. Okay, everyone's gonna say that. You can say that on the outside. It's easy for you to say, "Oh, they just decided." No. Don't cut me off. Hold up. Stop.
They did not give him the ball.
No, stop.
They didn't give him the ball.
Just stop. You've got to get on the basketball court and play a game. Really, you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to complain that, oh, he only had 19 points. You got to get on the court and play a game and understand how the game goes. Just because a teammate didn't, it doesn't mean that someone is deliberately not icing you out of the game. Right? The basketball game flows in different ways. It's like water. Sometimes it flows over here. Sometimes it flows over there. It finds a place to go. Right? RJ Barrett is the kind of guy that goes with the flow of the game. That's his personality. He's not going to, it doesn't seem right now, he's going to cry and complain because he didn't get shots or he did get shots or whatever it is. All right? He took 8 shots in the first half. He took 2 shots in the second half. Okay? He's also being used as a ball handler. He's being used as a facilitator. Look, there's going to be nights. It's going to happen. It's going to be nights where he gets 20 shots. It's going to be nights where he gets 10 shots. You know what I'm saying? I can guarantee you let's say next year, Julius Randle's not on the team. It will still happen that way. I can guarantee it. Another rookie's going to come in. Maybe this guy needs the ball. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But I can guarantee it's going to happen that way still. That's the way basketball goes. That is the way that basketball. It's the way that basketball goes. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're going to keep on saying that he's being iced out of the game. I just don't believe he's being iced out of the game. Right? Elfrid Payton took 4 shots. He had 10 assists. All right? Okay, Julius Randle took 15 shots. That's not a lot of shots in the NBA. It really isn't. I'm sorry. Mitchell Robinson took 16 shots. Most of them obviously at the rim. 15 shots is not a lot of shots in the NBA. This is the way that the game goes. It's the way that the game flows sometimes. We had 3 games in a row, about 3 games in a row, and it just frustrates me. And this is not about, I know I see people saying, oh, we're celebrating that they beat the Chicago Bulls. It's not even about that. I mean, obviously, I'm happy that they won against the Chicago Bulls. And look, I'm going to celebrate any victory. If I have no dollars and I find $1 on the ground, I'm going to be happy that I found that $1. Okay? So it is what it is. And so when people say, well, it's only $1, but if I have nothing in my pocket, I'll be happy that I found that $1 because now I got something in my pocket. But anyway, we had 3 games in a row one time where RJ Barrett took the most shot attempts on the team, and we still complained that he didn't take enough shots. He didn't have the ball in his hand, right? And he took those shot attempts while he was playing point guard, right? While he was playing point guard, over these 3 games when Frank Ntilikina was out, Elfrid Payton was out, he was playing backup point guard to Dennis Smith Jr., right? It was 2 or 3 games in a row where he was the leading shot. He took the most shots on the team, and he was running backup point guard. So he was also a facilitator and distributor, and we still complained that he didn't take enough shots. You act like this guy shoots 50% from the field. I see people, show, Dennis Smith Jr. had the ball on this side of the floor. R.J. Barrett was wide open from 3. Like, R.J. Barrett shoots the ball 50% from the 3-point line. Did Dennis Smith Jr. make the right play? Maybe not.
Got you there, Isaiah. Got you there.
You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Like, if he's shooting, if he's shooting a good number of shots, we're going to complain because he didn't shoot the most shots. We're going to complain because he wasn't the leading scorer. He had 19. We had even scoring all around. Right? This is the type of game that you want to see from the Knicks. Randall had 22. Taj Gibson had 17. R.J. Barrett had 19. Kevin Knox had 12. Mitchell Robinson had 23. Bobby Portis had 10. We had 6 people in double figures. Are we just looking for stuff to complain about just because we're not happy? I know it feels strange to get a win, and maybe it feels strange to be happy at something over the New York Knicks, but just take it. All right, I'm coming back to you, Isaiah. Go ahead, man.
So here's where I'm not agreeing with you with. I wholeheartedly understand the flow of the game. I understand that. Trust me, I do. But there's a difference from flow of the game and being froze out. Now, listen, I've never heard of a player that shot 7 for 8 in the first half, had a step back 3 to end the game, and then only get 1 shot in the third quarter. 1 touch of the ball in the third quarter. Now, I don't care what you say about
okay, hold up.
That's not flow of the game.
First of all, you're lying. You're lying. I guarantee you can go back in the history. You can go back to every single game. I guarantee you can go back almost every night. You can go back almost every night in the NBA and see a player that shoots 90% from the field in the first half and doesn't shoot a lot of shots in the second half. I can guarantee you can go every single season. I never heard of a player, this is Isaiah, I never heard of a player go 7 for 8 or whatever you went, 6 for 8 in the first half and only shoot 1 shot in the third. I guarantee you it happens hundreds of times every season. I can guarantee it. I will put any amount of money on it that it happens hundreds of times every single season. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee it, Isaiah.
So a player that goes 7 for 8 gets 1 shot in the third quarter or 2 shots in the second half?
Bro, you telling me you never seen that happen in the NBA before?
I don't remember the last time I seen that.
Oh my gosh, Isaiah, you just straight up lying. You are just straight up lying. It happens all the time. And people complain the same way you're complaining. You obviously don't watch basketball then.
Julius Randle and Ethan Payton froze him out the second half. I don't care what you say, that happened. That was real. You can say that,
bro. Okay, all right. You know what?
Good first half.
You know, go ahead. You just want to complain, but go ahead.
I'm not complaining.
You are.
I'm just showing you what I'm saying.
Bro, you are just complaining. You just want to have something to complain about. Froze out of the game. Okay. He's froze out of the game. Clearly, he wasn't too. If he was froze out of the game, he clearly wasn't upset about it. I know if I was froze out of the game, I'd be pretty pissed off. Viv, what's going on, Viv? Hold on, let me get you unmuted.
Yo, I listen.
What's going on, Viv?
I had to get in this. I heard Isaiah going off of this. I just want to say, listen, the whole quote-unquote freeze-out thing, like you said, it literally happens to every single player. You can just look at any single game. I mean, I'm sure it happens to everyone at least once, once or twice a season, if not more. I mean, who cares? You can you make it up in other ways. You do something else on the floor. That's part of the game. It's part of the rhythm of the game. So, we're wasting our time talking about, scoring only 2 points or whatever in the second half. No, look at the whole entire game. He had a great game overall. There's more to a game than points. You can look at different things he did, passes, this, that, the third. Look at those things. Points is just that's just like a easy. I wouldn't say like a cop. It's just a like simple way of looking at things. I mean, there's more ways to contribute. And look, I think my main thought in this game is that I know we're playing the Bulls. I get we're playing the Bulls, but I really did not have a lot of complaints with this game. I think just about everyone, except for some random ebbs and flows, that everyone kind of played pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like the bench unit. They played pretty well together in the second quarter, fourth quarter. I think Kevin Knox had probably one of his best games of the season, not just from a scoring perspective, but the way he took advantage of different flex cuts, the way he was hustling for some offensive boards. So I feel like he made his presence felt, and doesn't matter if he played 22 minutes or he played 32. It doesn't matter. He made the most out of his minutes, and I think that's what you can't ask for more than that. And then obviously, Mitch is Mitch, right? So Mitch is showing you why he's been so effective in his role. And look, he had 2 assists today, and one of them was actually I don't know if it was a converted assist or not, but he had a really slick pass. I think it was off an offensive rebound. He was trying to do like a one of those Kylo Quinn passes or something. I don't know if he converted it or not. I forget it, but he had 2 assists for the last 4 games. 2 assists in the game for the last 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
He's never had a stretch like that before. So that's progress right there, right? I mean, I think we got to look at things in a grand scheme of things and see, okay, there's more ways to evaluate players, and you got to take it from a micro perspective, and then really look at it overall. Hey, this guy developed here. Maybe he's not shooting well, but you look at it in the aggregate and then see, okay, fine, guys developed overall. I mean, it's beyond just simple box score things.
No, I definitely agree with you. And sometimes I feel like people, like I said, the Knicks win and people don't know how to feel, right? You know what I'm saying? You feel happy, but it's like, should I be happy because we beat the Bulls and the Bulls aren't good? Well, yeah, you probably should. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're not getting wins, so might as well feel happy about something.
Yeah, feel happy about something. I mean, I think the frustration for people is that, maybe when our own draft picks, quote unquote, they don't play, we prefer our own draft picks playing. That's just natural, natural bias, I guess. But
right.
Look, I think it's not just about playing 30 plus minutes, it's about what you do in the minutes in the end of the day. And I think that everyone they pretty much produced and they contributed to the win. So really, what more is there to ask for? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, listen, we already know the season is done as far as any kind of, the season's not going anywhere, right? There's 22 games left to the season or something like that. The only thing we can do now is try to see some kind of development from, and watch and see what the young guys are doing. There's not much Mike Miller can do as far as putting in any kind of long-term structure to the team, offense and defense, because he doesn't know if he's going to be here. The developmental coach is the same way, right? They can work with him right now, but new coaches are probably going to come in within the next couple of months, right? And they're going to give guys maybe some of the same assignments, maybe new assignments, right? So right now, these guys are just playing, right? So I'm satisfied with them just coming out and playing hard at this point. You know what I mean? Because, there's everyone is looking and saying the future is up in the air. I mean, there's going to be a future, right? But what is that future? What's going to happen over the next couple of months? What's going to happen over the next couple of weeks? Nobody knows, because everything is about to change, and they all know that. So I'm satisfied with them just coming out and playing hard. I don't want them to just mail it in, to just mail the season in. I want them to be strong enough, try to be strong-minded enough to just come out and play some hard basketball regardless of the result. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because nobody knows what's going on or what's going to happen within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's that's the minimum you can ask for. Play hard every single game. Don't give up in any games, and try to execute the plays you can. Now, look, I mean, to be quite honest, obviously Miller's going to play guys he's comfortable with because look, there's no guarantee, he has a job next year. So, you can't ask Miller to just put in all the young players because, he's not going to get rewarded for that, right? I mean, think about it. Who gets rewarded for basically like following the team leads and tanking? You're not going to be that. No coach ever gets rewarded for that, right? Especially like an interim coach. And I mean, same thing, the front office, why is the front office doing things? Same thing too, right? There's no guarantee for the front office either, current front office. So, why would they push an initiative to, just, all right, you just play all the young guys? I mean, what incentives do they have in this? So,
right. So
you got to look at things like in a perspective. Okay, this is why certain things are happening, and then things make more sense. So,
yeah. So let me ask you, what do you feel about this rumor that Leon Rose may try to bring Carmelo Anthony back to the team?
I mean, it's cool. Look, I think Melo's a smart enough guy that he knows. Okay, it depends on who else is on the team. He's not going to come back to a team that he knows will only win 20 games or 30 games. So, obviously, if he's coming back to this team, there's other pieces around the team that are probably, pushing, let's say, a playoff run or something. Not that it's going to happen. I'm just saying, that there's a structure around there. He's not going to come back to a team like this year or the last 3 years, for any perspective. But look, I mean, Melo's going to a team. Whatever team he goes to this next year or this summer is going to be a team that's in the playoff hunt. So whether whether it means he's going to come here or not, I don't know. But he's going to be trying to win games, and I don't think he's going to come to a situation where the chance of winning games is not high.
What would be the purpose?
For what, the rumor? Or for
if Leon Rose were to bring Melo back, what would the purpose serve?
It would just be a final piece to a veteran piece that can get buckets and have someone that has enough savvy to help you win games.
Now, obviously, this is just a rumor. It's what league executives believe about Leon Rose, right? But does this mean that they also believe that if that's the case, that Melo would really only come back if the Knicks were in a playoff hunt? Does this mean that these executives believe that Leon Rose is going to try to put together a playoff team and not really build from the ground up, but put together a playoff team, or try to put together a playoff team?
Yeah, that's a tough question to answer because I think a lot of it depends on what contract he's given, what how many years he's given. I think, I think eventually there's going to be a point where the team comes to a crossroads where okay, what's going on right now, right? So I mean, the question is, okay, from this point forward, how many years can you go, just trying to, hope for the lottery and then see what happens from there, right? I think every front office has to come to that crossroads, whether they like it or not. There's the idea of a perpetual rebuild. As it seems nice, it's just not practical to expect that. Now, whether that playoff hunt comes early on, I don't know. I mean, clearly a new front office, there has to be some sort of impetus for the playoffs. I think that's just part of anyone who gets hired. I don't think, I don't know if, obviously it's hard here, but, in most organizations, you're not expecting that hire to, start a big rebuild. I mean, Philadelphia is the biggest outlier of them all, but I mean, look where they are right now, right? So, I don't know. I would think playoffs is on the mind. I just don't know when that would be on the mind, but that's to be seen, I think.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because I think for next season he shouldn't even be thinking about the playoffs. I think he should just be thinking about, building and developing a culture around these guys, and really putting together some kind of team structure that's sustainable. To look and try to make a splash, I think is going to be a mistake, because in my opinion, any splash that you can make is going to be nullified by not having a strong organizational culture. That's the way I feel about it.
So the key is then, okay, so what do they, obviously I don't think they want to bottom out like they have this year, right? So you don't want to, they have to, try to figure out that perfect balance where they're not totally bottoming out. And, maybe they're not in the worst position where they try to go star hunting and, they end up with like 38 wins and don't make the playoffs, right? So you almost want to achieve that perfect balance where, okay, you can build a structure, but it doesn't require, like losing 70 games or something crazy like that.
Right.
That's going to be the hard part.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. I'm interested, man, to see when he comes out with his press conference and, what he says is the vision going forward. I'm really interested to hear. I mean, we've heard so many visions over the last few years. It's crazy. But I'm excited to hear it at least.
Yeah, I expect it next week, I think. If I think the press conference will come probably, I don't know, or early next week, middle next week, probably latest. But I'm sure it'll happen sometime next week.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I mean, I thought I read that maybe one could come Monday. Well, this Monday coming up. That's what you mean, this week coming up, right?
Yeah. This upcoming week. Yeah.
This upcoming week, yeah. So, we'll see. Let me get around down to these guys here, because I seen Evergreen on Facebook earlier, and he was talking about this whole Melo thing. So I want to ask Evergreen what he thinks about it. So somebody let Evergreen know that I'm about to come to him. And ladies and gentlemen, you can call in 516-405-2246. I'm happy to take your call. All right, Evergreen, I'm coming to you, my man. Yeah, Evergreen, what's going on, man?
Hey, we can win one more. Hey, we got one. We're at 18. We're better than last.
I'm not sure if he can hear me. Evergreen, can you hear me? Evergreen, can you hear me?
Right. Well,
I guess he can't hear me. So until when Evergreen figures out that I'm trying to come to him, ask him a question, let's take a look at the upcoming schedule. Then I'll get back to Evergreen and ask him his question. Monday, the Knicks play the Rockets, ladies and gentlemen. And when they play the Rockets, I'm actually going to stream live while the Knicks are playing the Rockets. I'm just going to call the game live. I'm going to do it on Sportscaster, and I'm going to be doing it on YouTube at the same time. All right, so make sure you check me out. And then on Wednesday, they play the Utah Jazz. Then the Oklahoma City Thunder. All games are at home, but all games are going to be tough. All right, they play 3 tough games in a row. So enjoy this win while we can, because they're playing 3 playoff teams, West Coast playoff teams, over the next week. All right, so that's going to be a tough one, and I'll be busy Monday. Monday morning. Make sure you check me out Monday morning as I'm doing Knicks Weekly exclusively on Sportscaster. So make sure you check me out. I'm going to do a game preview. All right, and then of course I'll be streaming live during the game. So make sure you check me out. And hey, if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel right now and ring that notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. After the Knicks play those 3 playoff teams, they play the Pistons at home. So the Knicks are currently on like a 5-game homestand. Then we go and we play in Washington, March 10th. Then we play the Hawks. Then we play the Miami Heat. All right, then we play the Charlotte Hornets, the Boston Celtics, the Golden State Warriors, the Clippers, the Toronto Raptors, New Orleans Pelicans, Chicago Bulls, Memphis Grizzlies, Minnesota Timberwolves, the Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic, the Thunder once again. That'll be in OKC, the Raptors, the Pistons, and then we finish the season off with the Minnesota Timberwolves. 6 wins. Evergreen says we can get 6 more wins. We'll see where these 6 wins come from. looking at this schedule. I don't know. But we'll see where these 6 wins might come from. Let me get to a phone call. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's up, Sam? How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. How you feeling?
I'm all right. This is John.
Yeah, man.
I went to the opening game with you. You might remember me.
Yeah, bro. How are you feeling? I think I saw something where maybe you was in the hospital or something, man. You good?
Yeah. I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good. I'll be out soon, man. I actually watched the game from my hospital bed, so I feel a little bit better.
Okay.
You know what
I'm
saying?
All right, good.
Yeah, so I'm going to call in and talk about, the 2 number 1 things. I said a few months ago, we definitely should bring Melo back. This is a feel-good thing, with the understanding that it ain't Melo's team. Like, he's coming in to fit in like he's doing in Portland. Give back to the city. Some feel-good stuff for the Knicks. I'm still saying what I said, unequivocally. We need or should look real hard, if it could happen, at Mark Jackson. I think I sent it to you, too. It was a clip from All the Smoke with Steph Curry was on there, and he explained the breakdown of what Mark Jackson meant to them. You know what I'm saying? In regards to helping them get the ball rolling. Where they were, just like our Knicks, nobody knew about Klay Thompson. Draymond Green, really didn't know. Steph was not Steph. But they had, and I'm not saying that our team is them, our young guys, Kevin Knox, RJ, and Mitch, but that's a good foundation. We need to stop playing those games, get them brothers an opportunity to really develop. That's what we need. We need the best coach. If it ain't Mark Jackson, cool. We need a coach. It ain't Mike Miller. He's not the answer. I'm getting mad with Knicks fans talking about, should they send Kevin Knox to the G League? No, send Mike Miller back to the G League. That's where he's at. He's not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing nothing, has never done nothing as a coach that warranted him even being the Knicks coach. And I don't see anything that will give me the idea or have confidence that he's better than Mark Jackson. We know Mark Jackson's record. If nothing else, he could teach our young point guards. Let's look at his scrims. He could teach our young point guards how to be point guards. That's his scrim. He could teach RJ. RJ already doing. He's going to that hoop. Like, he's going to be one of the main guards going to that hoop. They can't even stop him now. Teach our point guards how to post up. We don't have it. The whole league, for one, don't really have technique. Like, they don't play to the scrim. You know what I'm saying? Like, we supposed to be posting up small point guards. Mixed matches, they don't do it no more like they used to do. I just wanted to say that, and that guy was killing me. He starts talking about Mike Miller. It is about the minutes. You know what I'm saying? Kobe was getting 8 and 12 minutes. He wasn't Kobe. When Kobe got 30 and 35 minutes, he became Kobe. You need minutes to play. You need an opportunity to learn. Kobe shot air balls at the end of games. We got a very good found, and even
the only thing I'm gonna say to that though, John, about
we need to keep him, man. I don't want to hold you up. I just want to say that I'm one of your biggest supporters. I'll be telling my
appreciate
friends,
you, man.
Knicks fans, everything about you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Hey, but John, hold on 1 second before you get off. And I know, I know you got to get your rest and everything, man. The only thing I say about,
I'm that hard, Nick. I'm hyped up.
Yeah. The only thing I say about, with Kobe is, like, okay, Kobe came up, like, you're right? He was coming off the bench. He wasn't getting a lot of minutes. He was getting 8 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes. But, I mean, Kobe made the All-Star team as a reserve. You know what I'm saying? And then he did his thing. He was a reserve, made the All-Star team. Then he did his thing in the All-Star game. And so you knew, like, you could see it, and you knew, like, I got to make room for this guy in the game because
without question,
he really, without question, he is a contributor. So it's not like it was like, okay, he's good. We need to put him in the game to develop. It wasn't you needed to put Kobe in the game to develop. You had to put Kobe in the game because he was going to help you win. I think there's a difference there. There's a difference there. So when you're looking at Kevin Knox, right, at this point in his career, and don't get me wrong, I like Kevin Knox, and I want the Knicks to continue to work and try to develop this kid. When people say they should trade him, get rid of him, I think that's hogwash. He's a young guy. He's got to learn, right? But I don't feel like I feel like I said with Kobe. you knew you had to put him in because he was going to help you win. I don't know if you're like that with Kevin Knox. Like, we got to put this guy in because he's going to help us win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. I feel like a guy like Kevin Knox, you get what you're dealt. You get what you earn. You know what I'm saying? If you're not at that level where it's like, yeah, he's got to be on the floor because he's really going to contribute to our win shares. To me, it's like, then you get what you get. You get what you get until you earn those minutes. And I think eventually he will.
I think to be honest, Sam, real quick, I think he earned those minutes last year. But the bad signings with players at his position and then having to give Marquise Morris, that would impacted him. You know what I'm saying? Because he worked hard all summer. He came back ready to play. In the D League, he was tearing it up. They signed Marquise Morris, and here they go catering to a vet. That was, to me, and then you got Mike Miller. What happened was Del Harris. That was a coach. He was to play the veterans and all that with Kobe. He didn't want to let Kobe play. It's so funny. I was watching something. I'm going to get over real quick. I was watching something with Kobe. Kobe said, man, this dude messed up my first 3 years. I could have had way more points wasn't for Del Harris.
Yeah.
That's what he said. He really said that. But, man, listen, we got Kevin Knox he's going to be a beast, man. I hope they don't trade him. I hope they keep him. We need the right coach to develop, and they got to develop themselves, man. I mean, please invite me to anything you do, brother. I will promote. I continue to always do our promotion.
No, definitely. Well, look,
anything you're doing.
Yo, June 27th, we're having a charity basketball game. June 27th, the charity basketball game at the Metro Queens Boys and Girls Club.
All right, I'm ready. Send it.
All right, we're working out all the details now, but just pencil that date in right there. Pencil it in because that's it's a tentative date still. So everybody that's listening, it is a tentative date, right? Until we work out all the details, but it's a pretty strong tentative date. June 27th, the Metro Queens Boys and Girls Club is going to be a charity basketball game. People from NBK is going to be there. Obviously, I'm going to be there. Hopefully, some other Knicks content creators are going to be there. I have some other people that's in media that's going to come, and participate. So hopefully, it's going to be a good event, and we're going to be raising some money for the Boys and Girls Club. So June 27th, pencil that date in. Mark your calendars.
Sure, I'll be there. I promise you. And look, I'm just finished my children's book. It's dealing with bullying, and the Knicks, obviously the main character want to be a Knick, and he learns a lesson through life. I'm going to donate books to that cause that you can take, and T-shirts you could take and use it as a way to make money. Okay, brother. That's okay. Well,
I'm not looking to make money for myself. We would look to.
It's for the Boys and Girls Club. I heard what you said.
Yeah, right, exactly. Okay, right, I appreciate that, bro.
I'm gonna donate. That's gonna be my donation.
Okay,
right?
That's what's up.
Anything else I could do, brother? I'm gonna call you off when we ain't on air, and then we could go over more details.
Okay, sounds good, man.
Fans, man. Your show. Sorry, C2K and y'all. This is the best one. I'm biased.
Appreciate that, bro. Fellas. Appreciate that, man.
Right, yes,
get your rest, man. Definitely get your rest. Let's get to a couple more calls here. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, Sam, what's going on? It's Ryan.
I'm good, brother. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. I don't know. Well, right now it's probably just rumors right now, though. But I've been hearing that Tom Thibodeau is interested in being coach of the Knicks next year.
I mean, it sounds like it's a little more than interest from everything that I've read. Probably read a lot of the same stuff you read. Is that he's like the front runner or something like that? So. I mean, he's interested, more than interested. I think Tom Thibodeau has been interested in being the Knicks coach for years, right?
Yeah.
That's, for years. It's been, kind of his dream job to be the head coach of the New York Knicks. So, yes, he's definitely interested. We'll see if it works out that way. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but, with his past, success, I mean, that might not, be a bad idea.
Nah, it might not be a bad idea.
But the only thing is, though, I mean, part of me is saying, like, yeah, but then again, another part of me is like, you know what I'm saying, wanting to give Melo another shot, you know what I'm saying? Because he came in halfway, during the season, and...
Now, I mean, Yeah. I mean, I feel you. Yeah. I'm here. I thought you was getting ready to say something else. Nah, I feel you. I feel you. I definitely want to give.
Mike Miller came in halfway through the season, and I would like to maybe, give him another chance, maybe, because, I mean, I would say this, Mike Miller has had more success than what Fizdale's had.
Well, he's definitely had more success than what Fizdale's had with the team. I think at the very least, he at least deserves a fair shake, a fair interview. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they've seen the body of work that he's done. They're going to have seen the body of work that he's done with the team as currently constructed, and for what he received and what he came into. And then he'll get a chance to sit down and say, this is what I'll do with the team going forward. The problem is, here's the problem. The problem is this. He like, you don't know what players are going to be here going next year. So you can't say, yeah, I'm going to use this guy this way, that way, and stuff like that, because you don't know who's going to be here, right? You don't know. You don't know. I guess Leon Rose, when he gets in, he'll have a chance to meet with Mike Miller and talk with Mike Miller and kind of give Mike Miller his vision and then see where Mike Miller fits. I feel like, though, that even if he's not the head coach, he may still be around. You know what I'm saying? He might still be around. Maybe he's a developmental coach. I don't think, someone said send him back down to the G League. I don't think that's happening. He's in the NBA now. I don't think he's going back down. If the Knicks tried to send him back down to the G League, some other team is going to give him a contract somewhere, and they'll lose him out of the organization altogether. I feel like he still might stick around. Now, obviously, if a head coaching job comes calling, then, he'll take that if the Knicks don't give it to him. At least he should get his fair shake at an interview.
Oh, now about the whole Kevin Knox thing. I mean, okay, now I understand that some sophomores, take a step back. But the thing about Kevin Knox is, I would like to keep him around and see how he, see how next year turns out for him. Hopefully, next year he could bounce back.
Right.
Because last year, his rookie year, he did show a little potential.
He did. He showed a lot of potential. You know what I'm saying? He showed a lot of potential. And I think that your rookie years, people blame it on that, Morris was here. And I feel like this. If you're a player in the NBA, or anywhere, right? No matter who is on your team, if you're good enough, you're gonna shine through. That's the same example. The guy, the last caller, John, he used Kobe as an example. But the thing was, you knew you couldn't keep Kobe off the floor. You just couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You had to have Kobe on the floor because he was going to contribute to your team. He was going to contribute to you winning. You know what I'm saying? So, it was like, listen, we got to move these other guys so that Kobe can really shine. It's not like that with every single player that comes into the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Some guys, they got to fight through the battles and get there. You know what I mean? And your sophomore season a lot of times can be tough because people have videotape on you now. They know what you do. They know what you want to do. They know that you like to dribble to the left and then come back to the right. You know what I'm saying? They know you like to take a side step with your right foot onto your left foot and then pull up. Like, they know all these little things. You know what I'm saying? And you got grown men that's been around the league for years strategizing against you. And then you got a young kid, that hasn't learned how to, counteract counteract those strategies. So, it's not easy. It's just not that easy. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how he continues to grow, develop, and adjust. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving up on the kid just yet.
Yeah, I'm not ready to keep walking myself.
So, hey, man, I appreciate your call, bro.
All right.
All right, man.
Hopefully I can, more often, call in.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Take it easy.
All right, take it easy, brother. Get to another call here. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's poppin'?
What's up, man? How you doing? First time caller.
Appreciate it, man. I'm doing good.
How you doing? About Melo.
Uh-huh.
Now, if Melo is willing to come back and be a teacher, like to put somebody like Kevin Knox under his wing, then it would be a good thing, I believe. And
Okay.
as for Mitch, I think he needs to get with somebody like Kevin Garnett in the off season, Rasheed Wallace, somebody that can help him hit that 15-footer. He's like DeAndre Jordan right now, and that might not be a bad thing, but all he do is get oops and block shots. That's it. And I want to know what point guard you think that's coming out in the draft you prefer on the Knicks right now.
I don't even know right now which one I would prefer. I'm still, I'm honestly, I just really started watching and paying attention to guys and going back and looking at old video and old games and stuff like that because I got all the games recorded. You know what I mean? Like my high school season just ended. AAU is about to pick up, but I can get some games in between there. So I really just started going back and looking at it. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of reviewing everything now. So I don't even have an answer for you. But in the next week or so, I will, because I'm looking at everything. I got all these games recorded. I'm looking at everything now, looking at all the options that's out there.
Okay, I'm hearing a lot about LaMelo Ball, but I'm hearing he looks pretty good. But I don't know. We keep winning games, we gonna get that night pick, and we're not gonna get a point guard.
Well, I mean, that's true, but also remember we got the Clippers' fifth pick, or we got not the fifth pick, we got the Clippers' pick, or we could possibly use it to move up.
Okay.
It's possible. Doesn't mean that anyone's gonna want, it's possible. You still, another team has to agree to make that deal. You know what I'm saying? But maybe we could move up. I don't know.
Well, hopefully we get that point guard.
Yeah, I mean, well, we desperately need a point guard to build and grow around. You know what I mean? That's desperate. We're desperate for that. Yeah, man. All right, man. I appreciate your call, bro. No doubt.
All right, now.
Let me get back over here to the video chat and see what these guys doing, man. See what these guys talk about here. My man Gomes is in the building. Gomes, you there? Can you hear me?
Hi, Sam.
What's going on with you, man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. What's up with you?
Yeah, sure. For me, the whole point of it's kind of becoming redundant, and it's the thing is we Knicks need to think big. Get Chip England in, not some bloody new shooting coach. Get Chip England, give him $5 million a year, and get him in New York, and develop RJ, develop Knox, and draft Lamelo. Lamelo doesn't need to shoot. These guys will shoot 45% with him putting pressure. If Chip England comes here, Kawhi Leonard was a nobody. That guy made him an MVP, Finals MVP. So get that man here.
You said get who here now?
Get the correct people. Chip England, Spurs shooting coach.
Oh.
The shot doctor.
Okay.
That's what our team needs, because nobody on our team can shoot.
That's
and
true.
One more point. If you see this game versus the Bulls, if you see the advanced stats, the usage percentage of RJ Barrett when he was on the court was 6th on the team. 6th.
Mm-hmm.
What this stat actually gives is, at the current moment, if you're in the court, how much percentage of the possessions or how much usage of the ball are you getting? So this is what the stat tracks. So the biggest contrast is RJ Barrett is 6th. I don't care about that. But you know who is first? It's Julius Randle.
Mm-hmm.
A 4 having the most touches can never win you a game in modern NBA unless he's Anthony Davis. As simple as that. So this is the whole problem because the usage rate and field goal attempt rate at any point of time per 100 possessions in any game. If you see, Knicks have it inverse. Their best players have less usage rate and trash players have more usage rate. Bloody Bobby Portis has 23.7% usage rate and RJ has less than 20%. See, this is the problem with Knicks. You don't have a game plan. You don't have a strategy. You're just playing and you're just hoping that the talent comes. That's the main problem. This is how you use advanced stats. Not that you shoot 500 threes in a game.
So, do you think Leon Rose is going to come in and be able to change that? He said we don't have a strategy, we don't have a game plan. Is Leon Rose going to be able to change that? And what do you think about?
What I am saying is, see, to make a game plan, your players have to develop certain skills. So for developing those skills, get the best guys around the league, pay them 2, 3, 4, 5 million, how much ever you want. Knicks, you earn that in like 2 minutes. So one bloody new draft, jersey sales, you get a shooting coach in for 5 years, you pay him just with one jersey sale. That's all. That's how you should think. You should think big, not small. Here, we are not Utah. We are not. What is that? What's the obscure team? Cleveland. Okay, we are not Cleveland or Utah. We are New York Knicks. We are New York Knicks. See, Knicks is the sad part. New York is the good part.
That's a good one. That's a good one there. That's a good one, Gomes. You said. Let me come back to you real quick. Big shout out. I want to give a couple of shout outs, man, to some people that's here. Gave me a couple of super chats. I appreciate you guys for that. Let me get it up. As soon as I get it up, I gotta refresh this real quick so I can see who it was. For whatever reason, the YouTube app, kind of slowed down a little bit. Then let me see it. Big shout out to Ray Pittman. Thank you for the super chat. You said the offense needs to run through RJ, not Randall. And that's up to Mike Miller. Mike Miller's got to make that distinction and make that happen. Okay, and then Danny Joseph, thank you for the super chat. You said LaMelo is it. Well, like I said, I'm going to be, I haven't had a chance to really sit down and really break down what I'm looking at for, and who I really want. But I plan to. I got all these games recorded. I'm going to go back. I'm not going to watch the entirety of every game, but I'm going to go back and watch a lot of these games. You know what I'm saying? And see what's going on. They said my man Gomes for GM. Gomes, you might want to move to the States, man, and try to take over that Knicks job. A lot of people support you. You might want to think about doing that. Nick, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Let me ask you, man. Carmelo Anthony. This whole rumor with Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks. What's your take on it?
It's fine. I mean, it's not a bad thing to do to add him onto the team. It just depends on the role that he's gonna play. Of course, you want him to play a mentorship role, but at the same time, has he ever been a true mentor? The one thing I could say is, someone mentioned that you want him to train Knox. Well, for the most part, yeah, in the posts and stuff like that, he might help Knox, but Kevin Knox actually is not a Melo prototype. I mean, maybe for his later side of his career, but he's nowhere near the kind of player that Carmelo was, or is. I don't see what Melo could teach Kevin Knox.
No, I think if
want him out of the NBA.
No, I think I think Melo would be a little bit more of a mentor to RJ. A lot. The physical tools to me are the same, not fully the same, but similar. You know what I'm saying? Like RJ's not a super athletic guy. Melo was never a super athletic guy. They both, got to use craftiness, to score the ball. And of course, both of those guys are, RJ's, supposedly going to be the leader and franchise guy, or the main guy eventually. And, that's what Carmelo Anthony was. So, that may be a good pairing.
Yeah, I also think he might actually be good on Julius Randle too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because Lord knows Julius Randle needs a lot of work in the post to at least clean up some of his inefficiencies in the post.
I'm gonna tell you, two things that I think he really needs to clean up: the spin move and the double clutch.
Yeah,
those two things right there. I really think he needs to clean that up. Spin move and that double clutch, man.
Because if he adds just a little something extra to it, like he doesn't need, he needs more moves in the post, period. So you talk about like how Melo worked with Kareem, Olajuwon and other guys. Like he could add moves to. All he needs is different moves. That spin move is effective in a one-on-one situation.
Right.
But, like Randall needs shooters around him so that he could end up in one-on-one situations. So, it's like a catch-22. But if he adds different moves that can make him more effective in the post, it'll help him. One of the things that made me jump on was Gom's statement about the Chip English. I don't think we're going to be able to steal Chip English from the Spurs.
Oh, yeah, probably not.
We're not going to steal him from the Spurs. The guy that they are talking about, Macri, and they are talking about getting is very good. He's working with the Lakers right now, and he's a good shooting coach. At least they're getting a shooting coach. RJ is working with Drew Hanley. Drew Hanley is one of the best shooting coaches in the league. That's why RJ went from 40% to 60%, and he's climbing. He is going to have inefficient games at times because he is a rookie, and he's not Kobe good. Like we can't put Kobe in that, in that sentence as some of these guys we have on this team. We don't have that much talent. We need guys that can do two things: defense and offense. Shoot well, and then guard the guy in front of them.
Nah, definitely, yeah. And a shooting coach. And in some ways, I still believe, listen, you can shoot the ball. You can learn to shoot the ball, but I think some of that is natural too. You know what I mean? I've seen there's been people out there that have taken, work with shooting coaches for their entire career, but for whatever reason, they just can't get that touch. You know what I mean? Yeah. And one thing with Julius Randle that I think he also needs to do is to learn how to slow down. He's always moving at so much speed when he has the ball and trying to go to the basket that he can't feel where the defenders are. If he learns to just slow down a little bit, then maybe he can feel where those defenders are, and then he'd understand, okay, I can't do this spin now. I got to get the ball out quicker, just slow down a little bit. He's always going at such a high speed in certain situations. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And one thing too, like, it's kind of throwing me off because in one sense, like Taj is playing well. But I keep saying, like, at least for the rest of the season, I would like for the Knicks to just play Randall at center sometimes. Because when you look at the numbers last year with New Orleans, Randall started to explode when he played at center. And he was faster than most centers and also more powerful than some of them, right? So if you go real small ball, he's more powerful than, let's say we had matched up Randall at center versus the Rockets, right? And they have a small ball team. If we had put Randall against some of those guys, he probably could have overpowered as well as match up one-on-one, add shooters around him, and we could spread the court, is like 4 out, 1 in, Randall in, and then when we substitute, we put Mitch in, and no other center or big man with him, like no Portis, like getting away from Portis helps. And then just have ball movement, well, not ball movement, but off ball movement for like guys like Kevin Knox and stuff. Keep them moving so that they could at least catch guys off guard. And because Randall is a good enough passer, and I want to see if Mitch could pass. I don't feel like we experiment with Mitch enough.
True. We don't. We don't. And hopefully, whoever the new coach is coming in is going to, work on some of those things. Let me come down to Isaiah. See if Isaiah's got off his high horse yet. Isaiah, what's going on, man? You off your high horse or no? What's up?
Listen, man, I'm still right. I don't care what nobody. Y'all can tell me what y'all want. I'm still right. I'm gonna stick with my guns. But when it comes to Carmelo, man, I don't know, Sam. I really don't know about that. If Carmelo's coming back, there has to be a long discussion about where this Knicks team is at and where we're trying to go. And is Melo the right veteran for this team? I mean, me and you talked about it. Me and you both agree that we need a Jared Jack. Is Carmelo Anthony a Jared Jack type of veteran? Not really.
Nope.
But
probably not.
Yeah, Carmelo is not. Listen, I love Carmelo. 7 great years here, but I think that course. I mean, to see him back in the jersey, I don't think it's not. No, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't be back in a jersey again.
We'll see. Listen, maybe it's just a 1 year tour de force or whatever the word is. Just a 1 year. Wave goodbye to everybody and retire Nick. I don't know. And maybe it's nothing to it at all. Maybe it's just rumors. You know what I'm saying?
I just don't know what it is, though, Sam. For example, right? There were certain things I didn't like with KP that I pretty much felt like Melo taught him. There's a few things I didn't like what KP was doing that I feel like Melo taught him. So
what's that? What's that you feel like he taught him?
I don't know. I feel like, for example, like the isolation plays, I felt a little Melo with KP with the isolation plays. He never used to pass. Like once he got the ball, he was scoring. That's one thing I didn't like with that. I feel like he taught him. And just a little bit of the maneuvers that KP picked up during the off seasons with him feeling like he's. I took him out.
See that? Look at this dude, man. See that? See, you guys always say I'm getting on Isaiah. That's the reason why I get on that guy, right? This man ordering food or whatever he's ordering, Chinese or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Right in the middle of his conversation. That's the reason why I always get on him. You know what I mean? It's not. I get on it. It's with good cause that I get on this dude. It's with really good cause. Isaiah, what's up, man? You just gonna cut off right in the middle of the joint? What's up?
What happened?
What you mean? What happened? You know what happened?
Yo, man, I got to take the dog out, man.
Look at that. Oh, so it wasn't Chinese food. His parents are making him do his chores. That's what it is. Well, I'm going to let you go ahead and do your chores so you don't get kicked out the house. Your parents don't take your phone from you. Your parents don't take your car from you or whatever it is. I'm going to let you go ahead and do what it is you got to do. This man, parents making him take his dog out. Let's take a listen, ladies and gentlemen, to the player of the game tonight, Mitchell Robinson. Take a listen to the player game. This is Mitch Robinson after the game. This is from SNY TV. If you don't know what SNY TV is, check it out. You'll enjoy it. A lot of good Knicks stuff, Giant stuff, New York sports. Mitchell Robinson.
You're like, okay, I'm going to start imposing my will out there, or was there a moment where you switched up?
Taj, he old. So, gotta kind of give my guy a break, so me and BP really got to step our game up, so, Taj can really recover because we were way younger than him, way younger. So it's like, so we really got to look out for him too, so it's like, you got to step our game up.
RJ in that first half? What do you think?
Oh, that boy was cooking. Step back. Okay, I'm like, okay, RJ. You know, you're doing the thing. I mean, he was locked in for like, you know, it's like, cause last time we played him, I guess, didn't we lose the last time we played him in Chicago? I think we lost. Not really sure, but yeah. So, I mean, RJ, I guess he just wanted his payback. I guess so. He did what he did.
That's Mitch, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't talk much about himself there, but you know, you can't help but to like Mitch. If you watched him after the game, he was doing, you know, the whole thing behind RJ and all of that. Fun stuff, fun guy, man. I like Mitchell Robinson. But look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting out of here. It's 9:42. Glad you guys joined me for the night. Don't go anywhere yet, Gomes. I want to make sure you get your last words in. All right, before I get on out of here, I do want to say to you guys, last night we had a really good front stoop. Okay, so if you can, you got some time, go check out the front stoop from last night. It was really good. We talked about Jadakiss. You know, he delayed his album coming out, Ignatius. He delayed it till next Friday. It was supposed to come out yesterday. It's not coming out until next Friday now. You know, we talked about the coronavirus. Talked about a lot of stuff, so make sure you check that out, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm about to put a link right here in the chat so you can check it out. All right, and you know, join us the next time that we're live. Subscribe to that channel. All right, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to it. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the front stoop. All right, so here we go. I'm putting it in there right now. This is the link to last night's front stoop episode. All right, we talked about a lot of stuff. All right, so I appreciate you guys for being here and make sure that you check that out. All right, and Mighty Knicks, you said Sim, tell us about, you said sell the MSG stock. No, I'm not selling it. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jason Young. Thank you for the super chat. You said, am I going to do any Giant stuff? You know, the last time, if I do some Giant stuff, it won't be on this channel. It would be on another channel. The last time I did one New York Giants video on this channel. Actually it did okay. It was when the Giants drafted, what's his name? And, you know, it was all right, but, you know, it doesn't kind of fit in because it's the Knicks. So, you know, if I did a Giants video, I would have to do it on its own channel. Wow. So we'll see. I don't know. You know what I mean? I let Gammo come in and get his first and last words. Since he's just joining us, I let him come in and get his first and last words. But make sure you guys check out that front stoop, man. We had some good conversations last night. Subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. All right? I'm going to get to Guillermo real quick. I'm going to let these guys get their last words in, and then I'm up out of here. So, Guillermo, get your first and last words in real quick, man, because I'm about to get out of here.
All right, real quick, we need to stop with this Melo obsession. Let Melo go. He's not a teacher. He hasn't taught us anything. He didn't want to play that role when he had a chance to, even as a so-called superstar. Let him go. Another thing, funny enough, you kept muting Isaiah, but Isaiah was basically saying the same thing that Gomes was saying. That is not the fact that we won and we want to complain about certain things, right? If we're talking about what's going to happen in the future, what are we looking to build on foundation-wise? It comes from style of play. It comes from discernible things that you say, all right, there's consistency here. You know, we're getting this guy to play a certain way, and let's try to translate that and bring that over for the next, I don't know how many, 20 games you got left or 17, I don't know how many games you got left. Develop that, cultivate that, and let's bring that into next year, because too many years have gone where we haven't really developed anybody to go into the next year, and we keep starting anew and starting off on a bad foot, to say the least. So Gomes was basically saying what Isaiah was saying, and, you know, I'm just saying, you know, it's weird as it sounds, I'm coming to Isaiah's aid. That look, the
don't come
usage
to
goes
his
too much
aid.
to Randall.
Don't come to his aid. It's basically like this. If Gomes would have said it at the same time as Isaiah, we would have had the same argument, but I wasn't rehashing the same argument, so I just let it go.
No, but I mean, I think there's something to say about Gomes when he's talking about the usage rate. And it's not just tonight, right? Because tonight we won and multiple guys did score, right? So that's one thing I said, that when you can get a bunch of people involved in the offense, that's a plus anytime. The thing about it, though, is that R.J. Barrett has been frozen out in other games, though.
Well, I disagree with that, but, you know, the whole frozen out thing, I disagree with.
We talked about this in the Philadelphia game. we talked about it several times, Sim. So you go back to your live streams, and we could talk about times where RJ Barrett was hot in the first half, or he had, he looked good in the first half, and they went away from him. You saw Julius Randle push him off. There's even a clip I think I sent you where I forgot who was driving DSJ, whatever. And I'm not saying that they're purposely doing it, that everybody's purposely doing it, but if the game plan isn't to go to the guy who's open or the guy who has a hot hand, Walt Clyde Frazier says all the time, you keep feeding the hot hand until they go cold. And so that's my only thing. It's just
I still believe it's just I still believe a lot has to do with the flow of the game. You know what I'm saying? I just believe a lot has to do with the flow of the game. I can guarantee you it'll happen next year, right? Julius Randle may not even be on the team. Elfrid Payton may not even be on the team. I can guarantee you it'll happen. And he won't be the first guy or last guy that it happens to. It happened to Mo Harkless. Someone just said it in the chat. It happened to Mo Harkless last week. It happens.
Sim. Mo Harkless and RJ Barrett.
Huh?
I was saying Mo Harkless ain't RJ Barrett. So you can't compare usage for those two guys. And the thing about it is that I agree with you that they're superstars where, look, the first half they could score 25, second half they nothing happens. I agree with you.
Yeah, it happened with James Harden last week.
There are also games where the superstar scores 25 in the first half, scores 30 in the second half. Or I'm exaggerating.
I get that, but can we allow RJ Barrett to Can we allow him to have some seasons in the NBA where that can happen? I mean, it's not always going to happen your first. Anyway, go ahead. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Go ahead. I'll let you finish.
No, you good. No. It's not. I'm not even
debating. I'm tired of talking about that same. I don't want to talk about that same topic. So I'll just go ahead and finish. I'm not gonna respond.
All right. Well, go like this, man. The thing with Leon Rose, again, he scares me. The retread stuff. Tom Thibodeau, he has to get, if he's gonna bring Tom Thibodeau in, Tom Thibodeau has to tell him what his offensive game is going to be, what his philosophy is going to be, and what his defensive philosophy is going to be. Because what he did with the Bulls, he had some special players. Jakim Noah coming from Florida as a leader of that team, that championship-winning team twice. You know what I mean? That guy was a superb player, and he got the best out of him to be top 5 MVP. Derrick Rose was a once-in-a-lifetime generational talent. And he had a bunch of role players who did really well. Ben Gordon Ben Gordon hopefully gets better if you go in the Chicago, the Players Tribune. But Ben Gordon come off the bench and score 24, 30 points in sometimes a quarter. You know what I mean? So to say and try to replicate that into what the Knicks have, he has to adapt. I want to see a Pat Riley-like adaptation where you go from Showtime Lakers to the grungy New York Knicks to the Heat. You know what I mean? He has to adapt to the times because I think Tom Thibodeau could be a good teacher, but one thing that he does a lot is that he runs players into the ground. And it's not necessarily that, look, there's some young players that it works well with. Hey, I'm a negative reinforcement guy, work me to my bone. There's some players that they're great, but it's like, dude, you can't overwork them. You can't overuse them. So that's all I got to say. This Leon Rose dude, he kind of scares me. I really don't know how to call it. I mean, this guy couldn't take the job because Dwayne Wade needs a party for him and his family, I guess, or whatever. But, hopefully it works out and we find the right coach. But, yeah.
I feel like that's a shaky start right off top.
I agree.
I feel like that's a shaky top right off top.
I would have been in that organization cleaning up everything. I would have been scouting and looking at every little spot where we could get better at, because from even the person who serves the food, the trainers, the shooting coaches, the people who serve the breakfast and the nutrition, if you have to get the players to buy into your system so they can play. So even if you have players now who aren't great, they overachieve, and then other players see that from outside. Since you want to get free agents, they'd be like, oh, well, the Knicks, they're actually building something there, man. They got 30-some wins with a bunch of not great players. You know what I mean? And maybe they sneak into 40 wins with a bunch of not great players because they take nutrition seriously, they take defense seriously, they take training, they take everything seriously like that. All right, Giannis, I want to go there. All right, AD, I want to go there. That's how you draw these free agents now. They don't care about the Mecca or the Garden. So that's how I see it. You got to come in and clean house. You got to fix it up and build it up in your image where people respect you. So
that's what I hope he does.
Peace, everybody, man.
That's what I hope he does. I hope he builds it up in. That's what I hope he does. That's the one thing me and Viv were talking about with the whole thing with Melo, right? Viv was saying that Melo wouldn't come unless it's a playoff team. And so then my question was, does that mean that executives believe that Leon Rose is going to not really try to build it up, but try to form a playoff team right off the bat? You know what I'm saying?
That's scary.
And I hope that's not the case.
Can't do that, Sim. Tell me that does not work. Like, we've been doing that for years, Sim, where we try to bring in these flashy guys because they may have some
I know
in the game, and then, hey, let's just bring a whole bunch of. We tried to do it this year, and it was, bro. That does not work. Your best sustaining playoff teams, unless it's even the Clippers, where they brought in 2 superlative players, they had a foundation and a style of play, and they had everything in place to allow them to do that. That even if they didn't bring in the so-called, they didn't bring in Kawhi and Paul George, that's still a threat in the West. That's still a team that scared the Golden State Warriors with KD. I mean, I understand they kind of lost after that, but that was a team that, look, if they played any other team but the Warriors last year, you're gonna sit and tell me that's not a threat to go to to the next round? You know what I mean? You cannot build Rome in a day, bro. Like, this is the thing that scares me about Leon Rose, and now Worldwide West not following him. So maybe Worldwide West is seeing this like, yo, this is a clown show. Like, what the hell is this guy? Why would he want to do that? Like, is it for the bag? Is it just to relax and sit? These agents, they're not really industry guys. They're not coaches. They don't know. They don't feel it like a coach. They think they could just come in, do a bang job in 1 or 2 years, sign this guy, because that's how they see it, right? They don't see it from, hey, we had to go through so many coaches. This exec didn't really know what he was doing, but this exec knew other people in the industry. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? We can't. Oh man,
I agree with you. I mean, the whole idea of bringing in an agent is that they have relationships and they know how to make deals. That's the whole idea. It's not about setting up a good organizational structure. So that's what scares me. Like I said earlier, I think Gomes said it before a long time ago. You can bring in as many stars as you want, but if you don't have a good, strong organizational structure, eventually it's going to fall. That's just my opinion. Because you got to have that structure around anybody to make it work.
Why would, if I'm a free agent, right, and say you're not going to get a free agent that's going to leave team and they're a main cog team. At the best, you might get a guy who was maybe excess, or maybe a guy who had some type of bad relationship, whatever. I'm talking about a guy that if you might get a guy from a winning team. And that guy, if he had a bad relationship with the other team, more than likely, that bad energy, aura, attitude, it might permeate and carry on to how many times have you seen a guy, he left the team because it was a bad situation, but he was actually a good guy. Like, he went to another team and he built that team from, like, he built that team up. That team wasn't good. And he got the whole organization to play in a certain style and manner that was acceptable, that was good, that was something you could build up. That rarely happens, Sim. Like, we are lost, man. We're going to spend another 5-6 years going through this whole dog and pony show. And I'm telling you, and I don't wish death on nobody, but I'm not expecting the Knicks to get better until Dolan passes on, because he's not going to sell the team. So it's like the Raiders. We're just waiting until this guy, because he just doesn't get it, man. Like, he doesn't get it. Leon Rose, I
don't know about that, but I ain't even gonna touch that. I ain't even gonna touch that one. But
I'm not hoping for his death.
I know you're not. I'm just saying I'm not even, but hey, I gotta go, man. I'm gonna get Gomes and Nick to get the last words in, all right?
All right, man.
All right.
Peace out, guys. Peace out, everybody.
Make sure you guys check us out, man. Check out that front stoop. Guillermo was on the front stoop last night. We had some good conversations, good arguments too. Gomes, you want to get your last words in?
Yeah, sure. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, sure. So, see, what I feel is that, I am from an analytics background, so I am a person who doesn't see. It's a sport of art, but there are numbers involved. So, what I feel is that when you see the advanced stats, right, if you compare it to teams like Toronto, who actually don't have the talent we have. It sounds crazy, but it is true.
You don't think they have the talent we have? You think that we have more talent than the Toronto Raptors?
And all the scrubs from G League. You know why are they playing so well? Because they know what the hell to do on the court. Our players don't. As simple as that. It's not about the talent. It's about who is instructing them, how they are instructed, and how the structure is being held on the court, and accountability of the court for improvement and development.
Okay.
That is what is happening with the Raptors. No talent, zero talent.
See, I have to disagree with you. I think they have talent. I think they have talent on the team. They're not the most talented in the NBA.
Talking about skill.
You're gonna tell me Pascal Siakam's not talented?
No, he's not talented. He was a nobody in college.
Okay. I mean, that's a talent. I mean, Pascal Siakam,
no,
he
no,
started
Fred
playing
Van-
basketball
no,
really
Fred
late. The
Van
dude
Vliet-
got talent, man. Pascal Siakam is a
No.
talented dude.
I understand. See, talent athletically is different than talent basketball wise. So, talent basketball wise is basically all the people who don't have athletic gifts and try to manipulate. For example, Harden. He's the real talented guy, not Siakam, because Siakam is a guy who developed his skill. There's a difference because he had the body to do those kind of moves.
Okay, I mean, I agree with you about a lot of stuff, but with that one, I don't know. I think that he is. I think he's a talented guy. I'm not saying that he's the most talented guy in the NBA, but I think he's got a lot of talent.
See, if RJ Barrett can become an all-star in 2 to 3 years,
who
I
can become?
Guarantee you, if Barrett can become an all-star, RJ Barrett, in 2 to 3 years,
can he? Maybe
he will be 2 times better than Siakam because RJ Barrett is truly talented and truly skilled. He just hasn't had the right guidance. Siakam was a nobody, and the Raptor organization made him.
Okay, we'll see. So what about? Okay, let me ask you. So what about Kawhi Leonard? Because Kawhi Leonard, he had the same kind of career arc as Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, nobody. So all these nobodies are developed by the organization. People like Tim Duncan, Zion Williamson come into the league as 5 championships, 3 championships. That is the difference.
Okay.
That's the difference. Your organizations make you an all-star. You're not actually the most elite.
So
People
then,
like
how
Kobe,
did Kawhi?
The top picks are supposed to be the elite players, but with good guidance, only they can become all-stars.
Okay.
Not everybody is Luka or Zion. In the first year, they can become all-star or something like that.
I mean, I agree that a good organizations can make a guy a better player, right? Because of the structure and the developmental aspects of it and all of that. But I mean, and I was with Kawhi Leonard, I'm not gonna lie. For the first, he was with the Spurs, and my first question was, okay, is it because he was with the Spurs or is it really him? But then when he went to Toronto, he convinced me that it was him. You know what I'm saying? And
it was not him. It was not him. It was his work ethic, but it was not him. There's a difference between that.
Okay. Now, I get you're talking about developing guys, but you got to have a certain level of talent to be able to make it anyway.
If you work 150% of another guy, but you don't know how to do the job, you won't get it done.
But there's a lot of guys in the NBA that have the same work ethic and been with the same type of organizations, and they didn't become a star. So you've got to have a certain level of talent.
They don't have the work ethic. Big men can't shoot free throws.
I'm not talking about just big men. I'm not talking about just big men. I'm talking about players.
You are in the NBA. If you don't shoot 80% free throw, you should not even be in the NBA. Because that's a skill you develop from 5 years old. Free throw is the same distance from the hoop. Why the hell can't you not hit free throws?
I mean,
it means that people are not dedicated enough.
So Shaq shouldn't have been in the NBA?
How are European players able to hit free throws? Because they lack the talent to dunk. So they learn to hit free throws from a young age. Here everybody is super talented, but when it comes to NBA, people will keep on hacking you and you lose. As simple as that.
So Shaq shouldn't have been in the NBA?
See, that's the difference. That era was different. This era is completely different.
All right.
Here, if you miss one free throw per possession, and if they throw 14 guy lineup, they can foul you like 17 times in a game, and you hit only 16 or 15 free throws or something like that, and they just hit 5 threes in just 5 possessions. It's equalized. That is how the league works nowadays. You have to be efficient in every aspect. Not only you have to be a bruiser or athletic or anything. See players like Terence Davis. Who the hell is that guy? Nobody knew him. He's putting up 25 points because he was developed the right way. We had lottery picks for like 20 years. Where are those guards? That's the simple difference I'm saying. It's not about the talent. It's about the guidance.
Okay. All right. Well. You know, we're gonna finish this conversation because I gotta go. All right, Gomes. I appreciate you for being here, man. But we're gonna
Sure,
finish
man.
this
Have a
conversation the
great day.
next time we get on. All right. I'm gonna let Nick get up here and talk, but it's a good conversation to have. But we're gonna finish this conversation because I think we disagree on some stuff, so we got to keep talking about it a little bit later. But Nick, go ahead, man. You gonna get you some last words?
You on tomorrow or you on Monday?
Monday. I'm gonna be on Monday. So Monday, I'm actually gonna stream during the game.
Okay. The only reason why I'm asking is because, like, the Leon Rose is tomorrow, right? Or Monday?
Yeah. So now, if he does an announcement or something tomorrow, then I might jump on real quick to talk about that. But
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going. I want to just jump down Gomes' throat right now. Sim, the truth, why I don't understand how Knick fans are always like on far left field, far right field. They can never come to the middle. It's always in the middle. The truth is always in the middle.
Yeah.
Yes, they have organizational things, but check when was the last time the Spurs won a championship? They are the best organization. DeJounte Murray is under Chip English's tutelage right now. He cannot score more than 10 points per game, but he's with Chip English, the best organization in the league. It's not just about what the organization can do for you, but also what you can do for the organization.
Mm-hmm.
DeJounte Murray he also is dedicated. He dedicated his entire offseason last year with Chip English, working with him every day. They said he took, matter of fact, I use Markelle Fultz. Fultz been working with Drew Hanley, which is now RJ's shooting coach. RJ jumped 20 percentage points in free throws just this season with Drew Hanley's tutelage. This season, right, Sim?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Markelle Fultz been working with Drew Hanley, and Drew Hanley said he took 200,000 shots a day. I don't know how he fit it in. Well, no, overall, over the whole off season, sorry. Not a day. But he was taking close to 20,000 shots a day. That's like 5,000 as soon as you wake up, and 5,000 by breakfast. By lunch, 5,000 by 6, and then 5,000 before you go to sleep. Like, he worked his behind off. He still can't average above 12 points per game. He's not shooting well. He had all the talent in the world. I thought he was number 1 overall pick. He is an immense talent. It is situational. It is the era that you're in. It is the organization that you're with. It is the talent that you have or build around the team. Everything has to come together. You don't make the best cake with just sugar. Like, it takes everything. It takes flour, know-how, a good oven. It takes everything for it to come together to make the cake. Like, oh my God. Everyone is like
I know, man.
Guys. Give me Tibbs, give me Mark Jackson. When Mark Jackson has to have the right situation. Okay, let me just put this out there about Leon Rose. I could defend Leon Rose. And I'll make it real quick, Sim. The guy's been scouting for a long time. He is a freaking agent. He has clients. He has, what's his name? Leon West. Leon West has been a NBA whisperer for years. He has connections that could get him scouting reports. He has scouting reports. The guy knows people. The fact that we just got a shooting coach that has been working with the Lakers, everyone on the entire organization of the Lakers has improved their shooting. Look at Bradley, whatever his name is. I can't remember right now, but his shooting percentage has gone up. It's not just because of just this one shooting coach, but he also has LeBron attracting attention. LeBron doesn't shoot 80% from the free throw line. It's oh my God, what is wrong with you? So LeBron should be out the league right now. LeBron, get out because you can't shoot 80% from the line. Joel is 79%. Should he be out the league now?
I don't know, man.
I don't understand these far left, far right. Like, come in the middle. It's the truth is in the middle. Come on, dude. Seriously, because of the playoffs? Look at LeBron's career. I'm talking to Gomes now. Look at his career. LeBron has never averaged above 80% throughout his career on free throws. He hasn't. But he's a great player. I'm not going to sit here and say he's better than Michael, but jeez, what is wrong with you? You can't go far left. And you can't just use analytics. You can't just use your heart tells you what this guy could do. You got to put it all together. It's a recipe that you got to follow. It's right. Oh my God.
And just like you said, you can't just use analytics. I'm gonna throw just a little bit of analytics out there though. Right.
All right.
Everyone's complaining that RJ Barrett's getting frozen out and this and that and this and that. On the Knicks, and I'm looking at it on ESPN right now. I'm looking at the usage rate of players. Julius Randle's usage rate is 27.7.
RJ's like 23, right?
RJ Barrett's usage rate is 23.8. The next closest is Elfrid Payton at like 22.2. Okay? Those three guys are the three guys that have the ball in their hands for the most part. Okay? RJ Barrett's number 2 on the team in usage rate.
My God.
Number 2 on the team in usage rate. I mean, what do you guys want him to be? 50%? I mean...
And Tim, I know you're trying to get off, but it still goes to show too, because just like with Isaiah the other day when you had to like cut him short on how much the young guys are playing, it's like no one is like looking at the full picture, man. Yeah. It's like the young guys are playing minutes. The New York Knicks, MSG, whatever post-game thing, every post-game for like I want to say like 3 games back, every post game, they've actually said the young guys are playing. The young guys are playing. They're averaging above 20 minutes per game. And then yet still everyone feels like the young guys are not playing. The problem is the young guys are not playing good. Period. I would love for the young guys to take the challenge and say, I am going to beat the guy in front of me and take that job because I'm playing that damn good. How about you just step your game up, Frank Ntilikina, and outplay Elfrid Payton? How about Dennis Smith steps his game up and outplays Elfrid Payton? How about Kevin Knox outplays Mo Harkless and also pick whoever is in front of Kevin Knox? Take it on yourself to outplay the guy in front of you and take the job. Why do millennials want the job just handed to them? I don't get this. At some point in time, these guys have talent. Yes, Gomes, they have talent. But they got to work for it and they got to fight for it. Like, you want this thing? Fight for it. I'm tired of guys saying Frank should be handed the job. Like, you got to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, man. But man, hey, I'm gonna get off. All right. Yeah. Jack Peter said, "Man, only Sim will say goodbye on a podcast and go for another 45 minutes." Yeah. That's the truth, ain't it?
It's all good though, man. Too, man. Jeez.
Well, let me get up out of here. This time is for real, Nick. I appreciate you, Gomes. I appreciate you, man. You guys have a good weekend, and maybe I will see you tomorrow, depending on what happens, if there's some kind of announcement or anything. But hey, that's the way it happens when you're debating and talking, man. You have fun. You don't want to stop talking. We want to keep going. But I got to get off. I appreciate you guys, man. Have a great weekend. And I will see you on, well, maybe tomorrow, depending on what happens, if there's any kind of announcement or anything like that. Big shout out to Rare Form. Thank you for your super chat. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? He said, I remind you of your uncle. Your uncle's probably a debater. I'm saying you need to get him on the show. But I appreciate you guys, man. Have a great weekend. Remember to check out the front stoop. Okay, check out the front stoop. We're doing a lot of talking and debating on there, different topics, but still a lot of talking and debating. So make sure you check that out. All right. Check me out on Sportscaster. Sportscaster.com/NothinButKnicks. Follow me there. As I'm doing, I do Knicks Weekly there. I'll be doing Knicks Weekly this Monday. All right. And I'm out, ladies and gentlemen. Have yourselves a good weekend. Peace.